I used AI to negotiate the price of a house, and it saved me over $30,000, not by luck, not by timing, but by using data the seller wasn't expecting me to have. Welcome to TechWise, where we use AI to solve real-world problems. Buying a house is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. And yet, most people approach it with guesswork. They rely on instinct, a few comparisons, maybe a real estate agent. But here's the problem. The information is out there. Prices, trends, risks, hidden costs, it's just fragmented. And this is exactly where AI changes the game. Let's start with the strategy that made the biggest difference. Because this is where the $30,000 came from. When I found a property I liked, the price looked reasonable. Nothing obviously wrong, but instead of trusting that, I asked AI to break it down. Using tools like GPT 5.4, I fed it the listing details, location, square meters, condition, key features. Then I asked a simple question. Compare this property with similar houses in the same area and estimate the fair price per square meter. What came back wasn't just an opinion. It was a structured comparison. Average price per square meter, price range for similar properties, and most importantly, a clear gap. The house I was looking at was overpriced. Not massively, but enough. Around 8 to 10% above the local average. And this is where things get interesting. Because now, negotiation is no longer emotional. It's data-driven. I went back to the seller with specific numbers. Similar properties in this area are priced at X per square meter. This listing is above that range. No guessing. No vague arguments. Just facts. And that changed the dynamic completely. The final result? A price reduction of over $30,000. Same house, different information. And this is something anyone can replicate. But this is only one part of the process. Because finding the right price doesn't matter if you choose the wrong house. Now, let's take this one step further. The second way I used AI was to avoid costly mistakes before even making an offer. Because when you visit a property, it's easy to miss things. You focus on the space, the feeling, the potential, but you forget the risks. So I used AI to create a personalized checklist. Not a generic one, a tailored one. I asked, create a detailed checklist of everything I should inspect when buying a house in this area, including structural, legal, and environmental factors. The result was surprisingly detailed. Things like hidden moisture signs, electrical system age, noise levels at different times of the day, future construction plans nearby, things you don't think about in the moment. I used that checklist during visits, and it completely changed how I evaluated properties. Instead of asking, do I like this house? I started asking, does this house have hidden problems? And that shift alone can save you thousands. But here's where most people underestimate the complexity. Even if you find the right house at the right price, the real challenge is affordability. Now, this is where the third use case becomes critical. Financial planning. Most people do a rough calculation. Salary, monthly payment, maybe a bank simulation. But that's not enough. Because a mortgage isn't just a monthly payment, it's a long-term financial commitment with variables. So I used AI to simulate different scenarios. Using Claude 3.5 Opus, I input income, savings, interest rates, loan duration, and asked, create a financial plan for buying this house, including best case and worst case scenarios. What came back was more than a calculation. It was a strategy. Optimal loan size, safe monthly payment range, impact of interest rate changes, how much buffer I needed. And this is where it becomes powerful. Because you stop asking, can I afford this? And start asking, what's the smartest way to afford this? That's a completely different decision. But now comes one of the most underrated uses of AI in this process. Because buying a house isn't just financial. It's also about vision. And most people struggle with that. Now imagine walking into an empty apartment. Try to picture furniture, layout, style, but it's hard. This is where tools like Gemini come in. You can take a photo of the space and ask, generate interior design ideas for this room in a modern style, or even, show me how this room would look with a desk, sofa, and storage optimized for small spaces. In seconds, you get visual concepts, layouts, styles, ideas you wouldn't have considered. I tested this on a completely empty room, and suddenly, it wasn't empty anymore. It had potential. And this changes something subtle but important. Because you don't just evaluate what the house is, you evaluate what it could become. And that reduces uncertainty, which is one of the biggest barriers in buying decisions. But here's where things go even further. Because once you start using AI in this process, you realize it can support almost every step. For example, document analysis, contracts, legal terms, clauses that are easy to overlook. You can upload documents and ask, explain this contract in simple terms and highlight any risks. And instantly, complex language becomes understandable. Another powerful use case? Location analysis. You can ask AI, analyze this neighborhood, safety, transport, future development, and property value trends. Instead of relying on fragmented sources, you get a consolidated view. And then there's negotiation strategy. You can literally simulate the conversation. What's the best way to negotiate this price based on these market conditions? AI can suggest arguments, timing, and positioning. And this gives you confidence. Because you're not improvising, you're prepared. And when you combine all of this, price analysis, risk checklist, financial planning, visualization, document understanding, negotiation strategy, you're not just buying a house, you're making a fully informed decision. And that's the real advantage. Because most people are still using AI to write emails, while a few are using it to make life-changing financial decisions. This isn't about technology, it's about leverage. And once you see it, you can't go back. This isn't the future of buying a house. It's already possible today. Subscribe if you want to learn how to use AI in ways that actually change your life.